most people have more belief in their ability to manipulate an illusion into something pleasing than to manipulate reality into something pleasing. And if you can couple the two, if you can start with the premise that we are all vibrational beings, and that even what you see here that you are calling reality is a vibrational interpretation. If you could accurately compare the differences in the way you as people on this planet view it, you would begin to realize that it isn't that there is a stable, solid reality that people are observing. It is that the reality is as different as the lens through which it is seen. What you see with your eyes, what you hear with your ears, is an interpretation of vibration, and so on. So what we are wanting you to realize is that when you tune yourself to the vibrational frequency of who you really are, and then you begin to see your world through the eyes of Source, or through the eyes of the full connection of who you are, it looks very different than it would look to someone standing outside of the vortex. So we don't know of a better word than the word illusion, because there is not a static, stable reality that can be perceived in the same way by everyone, because the reality that you see is interpreted or deciphered or indeed created through the viewpoint from which you are looking, you say. Okay. So when your teachers have taught you that it is all an illusion, we say, so when you are having your dream state, it's easy to call that an illusion, even though it is a vibrational reality. In other words, everything that you are living, what you see and feel, what you are living, what you think, match. And your dream state is a creation that comes from the same projection of thought and subsequent emotional feeling. And so illusion or illusionary makes it not sound real. And it is real. We just want you to know that it really is as seen through the eye of the beholder, or through the eye of the creator. Okay. So to put it all into context, we want you to see the big picture. We want you to realize who you really are and why you're here. We want you to realize that you project a vibration forward long before you actually live the manifestation of it. But by tuning your frequency to the tuning of your source and to the tuning of your desire, you can then begin to live, to feel, to see, to taste and smell and touch the reality even before it is manifest. And that's why those like your teachers, and that's why we call it an illusion, meaning that the majority of the world is not looking, is not tuned to it, cannot see it as it really is. The reality that really is real is this vortex of creation that you may or may not have allowed to manifest yet, but this vortex of well-being that you have carved out of the details of your life experience, that is the only reality that the source within you will focus upon. And when you, by virtue of the way you feel, tune yourself into the vibration of the vortex, now you are then allowing yourself the fullness of the reality that you and the source within you has carved out of this experience. And the true distortion from reality is lived by those who stand outside the vortex, who disallow their knowledge of abundance, who disallow their knowledge of wellness, who disallow their knowledge of freedom, who disallow their knowledge of worthiness. So it really is debatable about what is the illusion, or what is the distortion, and what is the reality. In everything that we are visiting with you about, our powerful intention is to awaken within you your awareness of who you really are, and to empower you by helping you to realize the value of the contrast you live. But by helping you to realize that when the contrast helps you to identify a desire, to then give your undivided attention to it. So when you have been inspired from broader perspective to break the ridiculous rules and laws of your physical time-space reality, and to follow your heart and soar in alignment with the creation of all that is, And someone who is still rooted to those distorted laws of trying to control conditions in order to protect children and so forth, shines their disapproving light on you, and you give your attention to their disapproval, and therefore your vortex spits you out and you stand there in the darkness with them. There are so many people who live outside the vortex who are just moving all those parts around, trying to find the right behaviors and the right things to do, and in their complete disempowerment, blaming each other for the disempowerment they feel. So when something like that happens to you, the most important thing that happens is that you put more into your vortex of creation. So this conversation is not about laws and rules. It's not about doing what other people think I should do and losing my freedom. This conversation, as is every conversation, is about my, meaning you, my proximity to the vortex. How do you decide what to do when this one says you should go that way and this one says you should go that way, and all of them say you shouldn't go that way, but your heart says you want to go that way? How do you sort that out? Do you defy the delight of your child? Do you defy the soaring of your own being? And in other words, we want to say to you that if you were all, or any of you, completely law-abiding citizens, you would suck the life right out of yourself. Because what you're saying is, I'm source energy, and I came into this experience in order to define more clearly who I am and what I want. And who I really am is calling me eternally, but I must ignore that calling, and I must follow that rule and that rule and that rule and that rule, because I would not want to get any of them upset with me. And we say, almost from the beginning of your experience, those who came before you have been distracting you from, calling you away from your own guidance. So here's what we really want you to hear. We're not saying that we want you to go out and defiantly break laws, because defiantly pushing against things causes you to activate a vibration that throws you out of the vortex too. You can't condemn the law and be in the vortex, and you cannot condemn the lawmakers without getting spit out of your vortex, and you cannot condemn the law keepers without throwing yourself out of the vortex. But what you can do is listen to the higher calling, listen to the higher law. In other words, when you get in sync with who you really are, you'll be able to do all of those things that you want to do. You just won't rendezvous with those who don't want you to do them.